Hi, welcome back to another ceramic live stream with me, JC. So we have a couple of things going on right now. So we are working on this coil built bowl. We did a little bit with it yesterday, but it still needs to dry. I think it could dry a bit more. Because I think like for the most part we want to flip it upside down and start trimming, but the walls are a little bit too wet to do that. And then here with this one we are working on, oh my gosh, I keep dropping everything. We are working on trying to make another picture. We started it in yesterday's video. So if you want to see the beginning of this little dude here, you can. We are so in a previous stream we made this picture. Obviously I think you can see the cracks that happened on here. We actually have quite a few cracks. A very small one down here, and then on the base. When we were hand building earlier, I was like using coils to build the base, and actually for the, I think 4 different items that we did that, 3 of them have dried, and we definitely are seeing some issues with the coiling that. So that was an issue, but then when I actually took a look at it, I think yesterday, I pulled this out to take a look, and we actually have a lot more cracks. So I'm just gonna scrap this. This is, I was thinking of making a picture for my mom. She asked for one for maple syrup. So it has to be kind of like a small sized one. So we're basically kind of trying to match the size of this. I think for the most part, it looks kind of big, but it will be shrinking quite a lot. Again, it should shrink when this has this piece, when we're done with it, it's gonna shrink to bone dry, which is where this is. And then we're gonna put in a bisque fire into a kiln for the bisque fire. That's gonna shrink it a second time. And then when we glaze it and then put it into the kiln for a second firing, then it's going to shrink even more. So that's kind of like 3 times that it can shrink. So I'm just kind of guessing that maybe this will be a good size. And then I want to make sure like the inside is smooth, and then we're also going to be carving the outside inwards. So it won't actually be like this full diameter, including like the walls, because it's mostly gonna be like, it's gonna be even smaller than that. So yeah, so that is what we have going on. There are a couple parts in here, little areas in here that I think I want to fill up before we build it up too high and it's harder to reach. With our picture over here, I think the shape is not quite working as much as I would like it to. Hey, stop doing that. Sorry. The pets are being a little rowdy. So you might hear them doing stuff in the background. So what was I saying? I think we're gonna change the shape a little bit of the picture, and we're going to have a little bit of a wider neck area. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I really want it to be like mug looking. Like I think we do want to kind of like push it in a little bit, but maybe not quite as much as that. I want to make sure that we are able to get into it and glaze it later. Because the way that I'm glazing currently is with a brush. I don't have like a whole lot to be doing like a dip glaze. This would be like a perfect kind of item to do a dip glaze. But I don't know. I'm not even sure if my glazes could be used for dipping. I think typically like I've heard people say that like the brush on glazes have like a few like different things added to them that let them be brushed on, so it is kind of different, I think. I don't know. I'd have to go and look at what they say. Maybe you would, I don't know, some of them are kind of weird. I'm not sure if like you would have to like add some water to them. Some of them are actually pretty watery when I mix them up. I guess it depends on which one. Okay, so we're gonna score those. And just gotta make a little room here so we can let me clean this up. So we can roll out some coils. Okay, I think that's a decent size. And let me kind of, I don't know, let me see how much we can kind of squish this and bring the walls up. Okay, and then we are going to take our it's kind of like a needle tool, and just rough up the ends, and then we're also going to rough up just kind of like one side of this. You can do this with a variety of different tools. You don't have to have something that's specifically like this. This is what this tool is for like scoring. But I've seen like quite a few things. There's like very simple needle tools, like this one just has like one. I've seen like ribs that have like some ribs are like they have kind of like jagged edges, and that could be used. There's just like quite a variety. It really doesn't matter what you use to score, as long as you're just kind of like roughing up the clay a little bit, and whatever is just kind of like fast and easy for you to use is of course what you want. Okay, so we are going to put our coil down on here, kind of like squish it around. And then I'm gonna hold this area, and then with the rest of the coil, we're gonna push into it and try to do a little bit of compressing as we add the coil on here. Just try to compress the clay a little bit. So I'm basically holding that one still, and then as I'm adding the rest of this on here, we're just pushing that on there. We're pushing it kind of like closer and closer together. And then this should, so what we did, we kind of pitched the walls upwards, and that made the walls thinner. And then our coil, when we put on top, it should kind of like overflow on the sides and on the inside, so that we can pinch those down onto really connecting the sides there. We will get to that in just a second. Let me just roll out a coil to fit in here real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna score this. All right, now I'm gonna add some water. You can use water or slip for attachments. I typically use water. I don't specifically have any slip on hand. Although you could just quickly make some slip if you wanted to. Slip is, it's just like very watered down clay. So if you had like a little cup or something, or maybe some kind of like, I don't know, you can use a bucket if you want, however much you want. Put some clay in there, fill it up with some water, and then just like wait until the clay really like kind of just dissolves into the water, and then you can like add more water to it and see how much, like how liquidy you need it to be. And that is like what you can also use for attachments. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this up so you can see what we're doing. But where the places like have overflowed, we're just going to kind of grab a bit of this clay, and then we're going to push it down. And then that is going to really like help connect the walls. I just want to do that so you guys could see. But it's a little bit easier for me to do it if it's on the table. And then we're just going to go all around the outside, and then we're going to do that on the inside. And then this should really help integrate the coils together. And yeah, you really want to make sure that the clay is very well integrated, or else you might get some cracks later on, like when it dries or possibly when it's bisqued. So I'm just kind of like do maybe a little bit of smoothing if you want. I don't think we really need to make that look super nice. Okay, now we're gonna go on the inside and do that. Okay, and I think I just want to smooth a bit of this more. I want the inside to look pretty nice because I don't want to have to go in and trim the inside. And then we're just going to, hey, step up. We're just going to kind of like pinch this top coiled area. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. And let's see. It's splitting outwards a bit. Here, this top portion. So let's see if we can kind of like push the walls together a bit and make it more cylindrical instead of being kind of bowl shaped. This is also going to help with the compression of the walls since we're pushing the clay together. Compression is like one of the most important things about ceramics, is keeping, like, whatever you're doing, like making a base, making walls, anything that you're doing with the clay, you want to keep it compressed, or else you're going to get cracks later, and you don't want cracks. Of course, for some things, I think it could be applicable to use like bisque fix on it to fix any cracks. But of course, you just want, you want to do things the right way, so then you don't have to spend extra time fixing it, Okay, so I think I kind of want to go on the inside and, I don't know, just kind of like fix it up a little bit. Just like, there are a couple weird little areas in here that I want to smooth out. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of clay to fill up some of these little cracks and stuff. Okay, I think I feel pretty good about the inside. Hey, stop doing things. They're always so bad when I turn on the stream. Okay. This is looking very large, but I don't know. It's looking like so much larger than this thing. Let's kind of compare. Wall-wise, I think it's a little bit bigger, maybe. It's okay. But I definitely you should go watch the videos of us making this picture because it was huge. I don't know, when I'm coil building, like, I'm not I haven't done very much coil building, and like it was so big. The picture was so big, and I was like, wow, this thing is like not what I want. Like, it's way too big. So then I was like, whatever, let's just like, I don't know, let's just see what happens if we you know, go in and do some surgery on it. We removed like sides and stuff, and really trimmed it down a lot. It, like, the thumbnails, it was huge, and then the next day's video, it was super small, and people are probably like, what the heck? Is this even the same picture? Like, I don't know, it's just like so funny. You have to check that one out. Okay, so that's why I have this one sitting here, so that I can kind of look at it and get a good idea. I think even this one is probably even larger than what my mom even wants, but I don't know. We'll just see what we can do. I don't know why. I'm just like, I should just like throw it on the wheel. I'm having so many issues because when I throw on the wheel, I don't know, but I feel like things end up smaller than what I'm thinking. I don't know. It could just be like a shrinkage thing. But I always feel like when I throw on the wheel, things are super small. And then now that we're trying to do coil building, everything is turning out like super big. And I don't know. It's just funny. We'll just see where this goes. If it is just too massive, I think what we could do is pivot, and I don't know, part of my coil is like not the same width, so I'm just gonna cut that off. But we could pivot and turn it into a vase. What were we doing? Yeah, like I think it was 2 videos ago or so. I was like, we're gonna make a mug. And then I was coil building it, and it was so big. I was like, I just don't think this could be a mug anymore. And so now it's gonna be a bowl. I don't know. I'm not really like, I don't think I'm quite as in tune with so like I have like, I might start with an idea in my head of what we're gonna do. Sometimes not. A lot of the time when I throw on the wheel, I'm just like, I don't care. We're just gonna see what happens, and we'll just see what we end up making, because a lot of the time when I throw on the wheel, it doesn't end up being like what I was planning. Like, I'll say I'm gonna throw a planter, and then, oh wait, no, this one time I think I was like, I'm gonna throw a mug, and then it was like too big, so then it turned into being like a planter or something. Sorry, I'm like, I don't know, like hiccuping right now, sort of. So yeah, we might just have to pivot, but that's okay if that needs to happen. Just kind of see how much we need. All right. I don't know. It's turning out very large. And I'm like, I don't know. The other one, I don't know. I think I kind of like the size of the other one. You would want it to be, or like, you would want it to be a bit taller than what you would put, like how much you would put in there, because like I know my mom puts the maple syrup in the microwave, so if you put it in there for too long, it will bubble up and could spill out. So like with this one, you wouldn't want to fill it up to the top here. You'd want to fill it up to like, I don't know, maybe here or something. Maybe not even that much. I guess it depends on like how many people are over. Yeah, I feel like both of these are like, I don't know. Actually, maybe that one's like, maybe that one would be an okay size. I don't know. I'm just like, the part about how much like the clay will shrink, really, it always like throws me off, because like I think probably unless you like work with the same clay for like a long time, like you would just get used to it. But otherwise it's a little hard to kind of like, I think, guess like how much it's going to shrink. And then there are like a bunch of like, there are different factors, like depending on the type of clay that you're using, how much it'll shrink. Porcelain shrinks more. It should shrink like the most between that and earthenware or stoneware. Porcelain's going to shrink the most. The next would be stoneware. That's going to shrink a lot more. And then lastly, should be earthenware. It's very thin over in this area. I'm gonna add a little bit of clay there. But if you put, if you add grog or have grogged clay, that will help it like not shrink so much. That's because grog is so it's like you smashed up some clay, you smashed it to bits when it was like before firing it, you smash it to bits. And then of course, like if you're making it yourself, you can kind of choose the sizing of the grog, like if it's pretty fine or a little bit chunkier maybe, whatever. And then it goes into a bisque fire, and then it's added into the clay. So that's the reason why it will help your piece kind of resist a little bit of shrinking, because it's already shrunk. Like it already shrunk twice. From being leather hard and then going through a bisque. So I think that could help if you were like, if you wanted something so that your clay didn't shrink quite as much. It is kind of like jarring. It's like, I don't know, it's so weird, because you're like, I definitely feel like this is so much larger, and then like it literally probably was, but you're just mostly going off of memory, you know. And then you get it back and you're like, this is very small. It's like, I don't know, sometimes I don't know, it's just like kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, You can even like make colored clay by adding like I think you add oxides to it. Okay, I'm not sure if it's oxides or mason stains. I want to say it's an oxide, but I'm not entirely sure. But you can color the clay and then smash it up, biscuit, and then put it into your clay body, and then you'll have like those colored speckles. I just saw that recently, Pottery to the People. I can link that video. So when I post the video to YouTube, I'll put it in the description if you want to check out her video of that. She has a bunch of, she has kind of like a little series going on right now that she's currently working on of, I think it's called like Speckles Week, where she's making a bunch of videos involving like, I don't know, just like different decoration techniques and stuff. So it's really cool. I don't have anything that will color my clay. I need to like not buy a million things at the clay store when I go there. So, but maybe one day I'll try that. It's pretty cool. I would really like to get a speckled clay. And I think it would be even like more of a bonus if I could like do it myself and use the current clay that I have and not have to have like a separate clay, like a third. Like I already have 2 clays that I'm working with, so it'd be nice if I didn't have to have like a third one exactly over here. So that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if the one that I typically buy, I don't know, it probably does come with a grog, but I guess I don't know like what it looks like when it's fired. I can't remember. I think if it's grogged, it always shows up. I think it always shows up as a speckled clay, but I can't quite remember. Okay. This thing is like flippin' huge. Let me just, I'm just gonna try to compress the walls a little bit and bring it in so we have kind of like a cylinder shape. This is looking like so much like a planter. The thing that gets me is like I want to build things and then that is like the size it's gonna be, but it's not. It's gonna like shrink a bunch. So I don't know. I'm just like worried it's going to be like way too big. Let me just kind of take a look at this. I think we might start maybe kind of like coloring it in a little bit. We did a lot of Frankensteining in last one, where I like cut bits out and then I would like reattach like sides and stuff. We actually did quite a bit of that, and because you know, like I told you, that picture was a lot bigger. We did just like all over the place. It was like going through plastic surgery. So actually, you know, I don't know if this is quite the right. Hey, what is going on over there? They're being butts. Okay. Hey, no. Okay. And I don't think it really doesn't look like I guess I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the bottom might have cracked from trying to like redo that area. Like we cut out like a slice basically out of the entire piece and then just like reattached it to make, so like basically the base was coming inwards and making it smaller. I don't know if that could be, I guess I'm not really sure like exactly the issue of like those cracks that are happening, just because the majority of the cracks that we saw with the other pieces, the other coil pieces that I made, the bottoms I used coils on them, and that's where they're having issues. I don't know if that one, the bottom is like cracking because it was coiled or because we kind of chopped it up and put it back together. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's just put this on here and then I don't know. I think you can kind of like push it so that it is more going towards the inside than the outside to try and like curve that inwards. I'm not like a hand builder. If you've been watching the channel, you should know that. I say on like all our hand building videos, I'm like, I'm not a hand builder. I don't know, I'm just trying to go off of what I've seen other people do. The university classes that I did take were only in wheel throwing, so that's where I know most things. Hey, no. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little water here. Okay, so let's just try to, it's really cracking. I don't know if that's much of an issue. Let's circle back on that in a second. Okay. Okay, I'll do the inside first, and then we'll kind of like check on some of these weird areas. They're having some issues. sure, but I don't think these cracks will be an issue. Any large cracks that you get when you're hand building, I kind of feel like, I mean, I don't know. You shouldn't take my advice to heart when it comes to hand building. I feel pretty good about making the pinch pots, but I am not so good with slab building or the coil building, because it's just not really like what I have as much experience like working in. But I kind of think like at this stage where it's like the clay is very malleable and easy to just kind of like smush together and stuff, I think it's okay to kind of push some clay into those larger cracks. I've done that with pinch pots because sometimes the pinch pots will like will create sometimes some like fairly large cracks while you're making them, and those have turned out well. Like I don't think recently I really haven't gotten any problems with the pinch pots that I've made. A little while ago, some of the larger ones that I made, like I think the cracks were, or I think it was creating cracks on the bottoms, but I actually have a few that are pretty like kind of like I think on the larger side of being a pinch pot. I think, I don't know, I mean, I suppose you could make a pinch pot like any size, but like I think for like the typical like what you think of when you think of a pinch pot, it's usually like pretty small, I think. So those didn't have any problems. I think some of those larger cracked areas here are where we are connecting to coils. So we really want to make sure that these areas are well integrated. And just kind of like pushing it together in those areas should help. And let's just kind of like add a little bit of clay maybe inside here to kind of like smush around into some of those holes, those little cracks that we're seeing. Okay. Just kind of like check this out height wise. Not bad. I think I kind of want to try to pinch this inwards. I don't have an exact idea of what I'm like the shape that I'm trying to make. I just kind of have like a very vague sense of what I'm trying to do here. A little known fact about me is I have aphantasia, and that means like I have like less of a mind's eye than what other people could have. Like it's kind of like aphantasia is like a spectrum. So it's not really like a hard and fast rule, like if you do have a mind's eye or not. It's more of a spectrum. And it's just that like some people can picture things in their head just like so much more clearly and with a lot of detail, and then just like moving from all the detail ever and like I think even picturing it at different angles in your head, and then just less and less and less and less of that. So like I don't know, like I don't really picture very much in my head. It's very like blurry. Like I would definitely have trouble trying to like I mean, I don't know. It's just like very very blurry. Kind of a vague like sense of things I'm trying to picture. So definitely go like look it up. It's like it's kind of like really weird because I don't think a lot of people have ever heard of that, and like for me it's been like a real struggle, like trying to be someone that like trying to read books, because I hate it when the authors they go on, some authors go on and on and on for like pages describing a scene, and I can't do it. I can't. Like I can't picture this whole thing. Like it's like maybe like one thing I can kind of try to do, but they're just going off about all kinds of details and I just can't do it. My head is just like, I'm struggling as it is with like maybe one piece of furniture. But like collaging that together with all kinds of stuff, or I hate it when they're, you know, they're going off about the details of someone's face and I'm just like I just like, those are shorter so I kind of just skip over them. I'm just like I can't, I don't know. So like it's really that part's been like a big struggle because my mom's a huge reader. She loves reading. Like I like having picture books. I have a lot of picture books. So anything that is kind of like a reference material kind of thing. Obviously a lot of art books are reference materials. And like anything that's like that. But I just can't really. It's pretty rare if I want to read a novel. It's a lot easier if there's a movie. Like I was actually able to read all the Harry Potter books when I was younger because they actually had movies to them. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to picture like what these characters look like. I know who you're talking about, and I know, you know, I know like the whole layout of the school. I mean, in a general sense, you know, and all these things like Hagrid's house isn't attached to the school. It's off kind of by the woods and stuff or whatever. So that makes it like so much easier because I don't have to put in like any effort really. But then like if I read a book and then I watch the movie completely overrides any memory that I had of like what happened in the book. Like there are very like significant differences, I think, in the books versus the movies, and I literally can't remember. I don't know if that has anything to do with what I've been talking about, but I feel like it could because my memory is just not quite, I don't think it's quite there or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it's like really interesting. Go like ask your friends like how much they can picture like in their mind's eye. Like, I think my mom can picture things very well, and I feel like that's probably why she likes reading so much. Where, like, me, I can't really read novels or, like, or instructions. I'm so bad with instructions. You're just like, what? And there's, like, no picture of, like, what is happening. Oh, I think this kind of goes into why I don't like cooking, because I'm just like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to be doing what? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like so lost. I have such a hard time picturing like what is going on. Or I'm just like, wait, which bowl am I supposed to be doing this with? Or like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's why I'm just like I struggle with like cooking. Among with other reasons. I don't know, but like yeah, ask your friends and family, like how well they can picture things in their head, because I think it's like really interesting. One of my friends that I was talking to, they can picture things very well, and they're surprised that like I can like be an artist, like a visual artist, but not really be able to picture things that well. And so I got my drawing tablet out, and like it was just like really funny, because I was like, so we both, so I got a picture on my phone, and I described like what was going on in the picture, and then they were supposed to draw it, and then they got, next drawing was like a couple seconds looking at the picture and then drawing that from memory. And then the third one we did like a good look, like a longer look at the picture, and then like we both did that and then compared like the details in each. I don't know if you would necessarily be better at drawing or something like that if you have like a photographic memory. I don't think so. I think you would have to like hone in your, like kind of like hand-eye coordination with like drawing and stuff, to do that. But like I think my drawings turned out like a lot better, because like I don't know, I actually have a little bit more of a drawing background. I used to do a lot of drawing when I was younger, like just kind of like drawing photos and stuff. I think like pretty average teenage type drawing, just drawing photos. But I was like, I don't know, like I mean, it's definitely like my drawing is definitely not that great. If you've seen like my Instagram, like there really isn't very much in there that is considered like illustration. I do have like these dog stickers and a couple other stickers of other animals, but it's like if I needed to take one of those and change the pose of it, I think that'd be very hard for me to like translate it in that way. Like I can't really picture like I can kind of picture it, but if I did it, I don't think it would look right. Like I think there'd be something about it that would look weird. And I don't think I would be able to picture it quite right. It's like, it's kind of like, I think if you were like, oh yes, I know what a horse looks like, but then when you try to draw the horse, like there's just like you kind of got it, but like there are weird things happening with the legs. Like I'm sure there are weird things happening with the legs if you're trying to draw a horse. Like Like the horse is like running in full gallop. It's kind of like that, I think. It's like, I don't know, I think generally that's how like my brain works, is like, yeah, I know what that looks like, but like I don't know so many details that I could really capture that like with a pencil. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I guess I'm not really sure, but I feel like people would have a hard time doing that. Let me just take a good look at this. Definitely looking like a vase. I really want to just like get like the body shape quite right. I don't know if I want to maybe like have this color in more. I don't know if I'm exactly doing this right. This is kind of like what I would do throwing, is just like put my hands here, and then as it's spinning, it just like, in that square, it just pushes the clay inwards. So I'm kind of just going based off of that. I don't know, I think I want a little bit nicer of a curve here. I feel like we're getting kind of a weird shape. Okay. Because we want like, this doesn't have to be like perfect. We're gonna be doing a lot of trimming, but the overall shape should be what we want, like in a general sense. I think how can I like, I probably shouldn't wing this, but I don't know, let's just see. I'm so like, I'm always like winging things. Okay, actually I think that was pretty good. So let's just cut off the top of this because it's very uneven. All right. Let me just kind of like smush some of this extra clay together. I don't want it to dry out too much, because maybe if it doesn't dry out too much, we can reuse it later. And I won't have to throw it into the reclaim. So just kind of like, let me just like, I'm gonna dunk it in the water. Throw it there. Okay. So how much time do we have? Oh, okay. We are at time. My thing used to like ding or something, and now it just doesn't. I don't know what has happened. I know the volume is not off on my laptop. Okay, well, we are at time. I think this will look normal. Like, we basically just want to kind of make a bit of a spout here. And then we are going to round out the top here, of course. Probably add a handle, because I think my mom would be putting this in the microwave to heat up maple syrup. Otherwise, if this was just for like creamer, you wouldn't necessarily need to put a handle on it. A lot of creamers don't, because they're kind of like small sized. This right here is like pretty heavy, but we have a lot of water weight in this, and then also a lot of it is going to be cut off. But yeah, I think we're going to yeah, just kind of like fix up more of this, maybe a little bit more of the shape. I don't know, this looks kind of weird. I don't know, it looks kind of weird. So yeah, that's what we have so far. We will be back tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. We stream on weekdays here on Twitch, so be sure to follow along so you know when we get on for a stream. And then all of our Twitch videos are going to be uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. And that's where the whole stream archive will be for you to check out, because Twitch will delete videos after a week. So you can go to the YouTube and check out all of the other live streams that we have for ceramic hours. And then there are a few other videos on the YouTube, like a couple tutorials. I'm hoping to make more soon when I have enough time. And then we have other things, like they're kind of like small business, handmade, business related, or other kind of like other art topics, maybe general art. I think some are very specific. But yeah, so be sure to follow along or subscribe wherever you're watching, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.